What's up, guys? It's Coach Grant with First Down Training, and today we're going to be breaking down how to run a comeback route versus press man coverage, okay? So we're going to be talking about how you guys can get this DB to commit his hips, a great release you guys could use to set up this comeback route, and then how you guys could get out of the break in the least amount of steps possible. So I hope this video gives you guys some value and it teaches you a few new things just about the overall wide receiver position. Now, if you're a wide receiver, fellas, and you don't want to lose the gains that you've made in the offseason, you don't want to lose the explosiveness that you built, the speed that you built, the power, overall strength, check out that very first link in the description below for our in-season 28-day wide receiver gym training plan. So what it is, it's 28 days of specific workouts broken down into sets, repetitions, and splits designed to help you guys hit peak performance on game night, okay? So it's all based around having a 1 game per week schedule. Hope you guys can check that out. Very first link in the description for wide receivers during the season. Let's get started. So this first clip here from Amari Cooper, he goes with this kind of like hesitation hop, double up release, and then he runs this comeback route, okay? So this is a very complete route. We're going to be talking about just why it works. So when we do this like little hesitation hop right here from Cooper, the number one thing is that we want to take this outside release, right? And he knows, especially because it's man coverage, because this DB's here and he doesn't necessarily have safety help. He's watching those hips. Where does he want to protect? He wants to protect the inside. So if we want to threaten him to the inside, that's what will move him off this block. I want to create some space for myself to the outside. Now, what a lot of untrained wide receivers will do is they'll come off here, they'll close the distance, they'll see that he'll sit, and then they'll just try to take off and run. Meanwhile, that DB is going to get right into your hip and force you to the sideline. So we really have to try to work him off this line. So I got some space to accelerate at the top of the comeback route so the quarterback can lead me off of this thing. That's why we decided to go with this release. So he goes with this. Some people might consider this like a squirt release. I wouldn't consider that because that's more so like attacking leverage, but it's more of like a hesitation hop and he throws this double up. Now, again, we talk about it all the time on this page. It's like when you work a release, when you guys work a move, you want to think of it like driving, right? You got the left lane, DB's in the middle lane, then you got the right lane. If we're trying to get to the left lane, what I want to do is I want to make sure I sell to the full right lane. So you see where Cooper's stepping. He's stepping all the way outside of this DB's frame. This is that spot where that DB eventually has to commit to it. There's nothing about this that says that he's going outside. Everything about this move is selling that he's making an inside move, right? He's throwing his hip. He's bringing his pad level with the cut. That's the magic spot that we have to get to because that's what's going to get that DB to jump, and that's what creates some space for myself to get back up into this route, okay? So now, what Cooper does such a great job of is he goes with this little hesitation skip. So when we do this little hesitation skip right here, that lulls the DB to sleep. That makes the DB think that you're going to be running like an in route, or you're going to be breaking this thing off right now, or you're just going to be stopping this route. But then when we give that little hesitation and then we burst off of it, this DB really wants to overcommit because he's going to be watching my tempo. Especially when he doesn't have hands on me, that DB is trying to match my speed. That's why changing tempo in a route can be highly beneficial for guys. I don't recommend it right off the gate, and I don't recommend it if you're kind of a beginner to this whole route running thing. I recommend that when a DB's maybe starting to get your tempo, he's starting to get your speed, he's starting to match you, you're starting to see less separation, that's when you maybe want to change this up, okay? But when he goes with this little skip, then he bursts up vertical. When he bursts up vertical, you see how well he sells this thing. His eyes are straight forward. He's pumping those arms. Those strides are aggressive and they're actually in stride. He's not taking these choppy steps. That's putting that DB in that oh shit mode where he's got to go try to make this play. He thinks that this ball is getting thrown right to that front pylon. Okay, so you got to make sure that on any single route, whether it's a comeback route without a tempo change, a comeback route with the tempo change, that you are getting that DB to commit his hips to the fade. Okay, this is what makes the route work right here, this spot. Committing my fade, committing my hips, my shoulders, my eyes, my stride, everything to the fade because that's what will get that DB to also commit to the fade. Now, you see how Cooper, when he drops this thing off, how violent of a snap down that is. He's getting his hips in that low explosive position. His chin is going to his knee. I want you to see how he's not leaning back. He's not trying to turn his shoulders out of it. He's got his pad level forward so he can drive and actually run out of this thing, right? So he snaps with that first step. The second step pivots him because that's what gets your hips turned. And then his third step hooks back around so he could actually drive off of this third step and really focus on accelerating. When you guys can drop like that off of a full speed sprint and that DB has committed his hips, he's reacting off of us. So if I can make sure that I get him to react off of us, I'm able to snap, pivot, hook, get out of this thing off of a tempo change. And the tempo change also, fellas, kind of makes it easier at the top of the break to come out in 3 steps. Doing this like without a tempo change, very difficult to get out of a break in 3 steps if you haven't been working this over and over and over again for years even. But with the tempo change, you guys could be able to get out in 3 steps because you're obviously not running as fast for as long of a period of time. Makes the break a lot easier. That's another benefit of doing that little tempo change in the middle middle of the route. And then Cooper obviously accelerates out of this break very well, sets up that space for him to actually run back to the ball because of the release and because of how he restack or like work to get back over the top, not necessarily restack on the stem. Let's watch the thing again, full speed one more time. Very complete route here by Amari Cooper. Great job throwing this guy off the line, working back up vertical, getting that DB to commit his hips, and then snapping this thing right off. All right, guys, we want to thank you for watching. I really appreciate it. If you guys have any questions at all, please don't hesitate to leave those in the comments below. I always appreciate the feedback, always appreciate what you guys have to say. It helps me come up with new ideas for this channel, so I always appreciate it. And again, fellas, in season 28-day wide receiver gym schedule, everything broken down for you into sets, repetitions, made into a schedule to help wide receivers hit peak performance during the season. Hope you guys can check that out. Very first link in the description below. I'll see you guys next time.